It is 8:30, and I would like to call this September 16th regular meeting of the Middlesex County College Board of Trustees. Will you please stand and salute the flag of our country? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, and with liberty for all. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, here we go. The notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-10, has been complied with and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting. Now I would like to introduce two new trustees. Gabrielle Mclean. Is she here?
Yes.
Okay. Gabrielle Mclean graduated from South Brunswick High School. She graduated from MCC in May with an Associate in Arts and Liberal Arts General. At MCC, Gabrielle was a member of the Psychology Honor Society, the Humanities Honor Society, and the Pi Delta Kappa Honor Society. She interned at Race's Cultural Center in New Brunswick, tutored at the MCC Learning Center, and wrote for the student newspaper. She also helped found and served as president of the MCC Feminist Collective. Gabrielle is attending the College of New Jersey this year, where she is studying psychology and plans to complete a bachelor's degree before moving on to graduate school. And Anand Faluri, who goes by Andy, is a vice president and area manager of WSP USA Inc., where he is responsible for the firm's operations across the state, with over 500 staff members in 2 offices. He has over 33 years of experience working on roadways, interchanges, bridges, ports, and airports. He lives in Monroe, where he serves on the Board of Education and the Township Planning Board. I will now swear in our new trustees with the oath of office, beginning with Ms. Mclean. Please stand and raise one hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Gabrielle Mclean.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of Trustee of Middlesex County College,
Trustee of Middlesex County College,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Faluri, please stand and raise one hand and repeat after me. I,
Andy Faluri,
thank you, do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all of the duties of the office of Trustee of Middlesex County College,
Trustee of the Middlesex County College,
according to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Welcome.
So help me God. Thank you.
Congratulations. You are now officially trustees of Middlesex County College.
Thank you. Right.
Now, let's see. That's the page one. Bear with me here.
Hey, good
Now,
morning.
Good morning.
You got it.
How's
now,
everybody?
Mr. Delosio, would you please call the roll? Sally,
Sally, you're muted.
You're on mute.
she's on mute.
I think so. Is he here?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
call the roll.
yes. Mr. Anderson. I think I saw him.
Here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Ms. Butees.
Here.
Ms. Cortez.
Here.
Mr. Finkelstein.
Here.
Mr. Okereke.
Here.
Mr. Oras.
Here.
Mr. Pelori.
Here.
Ms. Power.
Here,
Mr. Raja.
Here.
Mr. Sika.
Here.
Mr. Taffet.
Here.
And Ms. McLean.
Here.
Okay. Ms. Power, we do have a quorum.
thank you. Okay, and may I have a motion to approve the regular minutes of the June 17th and the minutes from the July 29th and August 28th, 2020 executive committee meetings?
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain.
Thank you. Thank you. The motion is carried. Mr. Lozio, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, Chairman Power, I do have something to read to you today. This is a letter from Mr. Page Lamadou to Ms. Power, and it's dated August 16th, 2020. Dear Dorothy, my father would be so pleased with your selection as the recipient of the Page D. Lamadou Award. Nikki and I are pleased too. Time, effort, effort, effort. Thank you for your sustained commitment to Middlesex County College. Sincerely, Paige. And that is it for the correspondence.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Okay, now, Dr. McCormick, do we have a presentation today?
Chairman Power, we do. So you on the board who were on last year will recall that in June, we usually have you approve the promotion and academic rank for full-time faculty who've been through the process and were recommended by their peers and by the VP for Academic Affairs. We had 3 such individuals this past June, and they're all here. 2 of them are here today in person to get to know you and say a few words, and 1 couldn't make it because she's teaching, and she's sent some remarks that VP Linda Scher will read. We're going to do them in alphabetical order. So our first up is Susan Altman, professor in the Visual Performing and Media Arts Department. And Susan has a PowerPoint, and she's going to say a few words about what she loves about Middlesex County College and teaching here.
Okay, so thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Thank you to the Board of Trustees. Thank you to Mark for inviting me. Thank you for the Board of Trustees for promoting me to full professor. I've been at the college since 1987. I teach in the Visual Arts Department. I'm also director of the Center for Enrichment of Learning and Teaching, which is really something that I'm very proud of. I was on the board of CELT from its inception. So one of the things that I do love about teaching at Middlesex County College is my students. And I'm very proud to congratulate Gabby, who was one of my students in the spring. So I'm very proud of her. She's actually, we're going to see one of her works in my PowerPoint. So what I thought I would do this morning is just show a couple of works from the spring and what we did as students. Because if you asked me in 1987 when I first came to the college, and we didn't really have remote learning then, but if you said to me, oh, would you ever teach? We didn't even have computers. But if you said to me at that time, do you want to teach art online? Even when computers came about, I would have said to you, no, that's not what we do in the art department, because the art department is very hands-on. We meet with each student every class. We work as a community of artists, and everyone learns from seeing each other's work. And when we went to remote, it was really a challenge for us. But I think the faculty in the VPMA department and Annie Hogan, our chair, we really rose to the occasion, and the students rose to the occasion. And that was what was so exciting, I think, for me, is to see the great work that came out of our students in the spring and is continuing in the fall. So next, John, I'll just tell you next slide. Next slide, please.
He's getting it. There we go.
Okay, so this is how we teach remotely. I'm actually, you can see New York City behind me. I live in New York City, and I'm teaching in my kitchen where the north light is what artists like. And the image on the left is my messy kitchen last spring. I like to stand when I teach. I'm not sitting. I did get a stool over the summer so I could sit if I need to, but I like to stand, and the counter height is the right height for me. And the image on the right is one of my demos that I did for my class. So I actually did a combination of teaching. I've actually upped my game. I'm now teaching live. I got an iPad stand, and I'm demoing live in my classes using my iPad as a document camera. But you can see here one of the demos that I did for my class. I filmed them actually on my phone and uploaded them. Next slide. By the end of the semester, I was using my iPad, my computer, my phone for grading and everything else. So I really sort of had to play around with technology. But what was really great was the ability of students to still make art. And art is so important. We've seen it during the pandemic, how people have streamed dance, streamed theater, streamed music, that we are missing the arts. And so I think it's so important that we're supporting our students to find that creative outlet. Next. So the first work I'm going to show you is Gabby's final project done by Board of Trustees member. We did have terrific work, and you saw my little watermelon demonstration. Students set up in their houses their own little still lifes. Now, if we were in school, we did this collaboratively. Everyone would bring in a different vegetable, we'd set them all up, but you can see the great work that Gabby did by the end of the semester. Now, if we were to look at the beginning work was very different. So they really improved even though they were home. We worked on ways to collaborate, to learn from each other, very similar to what we do in the studios, although we really do miss our studios. Next. And there, next, you could just see some examples of student work. Next. And another, actually, I stuck in a second work of Gabby. She did a terrific job last semester, a collage that students did at home. Next slide, please. One of the things that we decided to do in the spring, and it definitely talks about how important art was during the pandemic, is that the Getty Museum in LA sent out a challenge: recreate a famous artwork in your home and then post it to social media. So I decided that some of our students, since they did not have supplies, and we did have paper pickup for them, which we're doing again in this fall, that this would be a great project because they just could use their phone. So you can see two examples. The one on the left, the student recreated the painting, and then on the right, the student recreated an Andy Warhol work where she actually got her sister to put on the makeup and do the work. So they did a really fantastic job with these. Next. Another example, you could see the one on the left from a Renaissance painting. And then, as you know, many of our students are parents and we're struggling to study, to do their own classes, to homeschool their kids. So one of my students took her two children and set them up for this painting. And they really had the choice to pick whatever painting they wanted, whatever resonated with them. So you can see here the student on the right put her children out in the backyard, hung a clothesline, got a chair, and really recreated the work. Next. And here's another student. This student chose this work because she felt, first of all, that it really looked like her. And this painting was from the 19th century. And she also felt it looked like her aunt. And so she had a real connection to the work. And you can see how she recreated it. Next. Thank you. Another thing that we did in the spring, so we wouldn't have to use supplies, is students did installations. So either outdoors, if they were able to leave their home or go somewhere, they did an outdoor installation, or if they lived in a place where they did not have access or did not feel safe doing that, one of the things we really made sure that our students were safe, they could do an indoor installation. So this student had all those glass beads that you put in vases, and she took them to a local, I guess, park, and she laid them out and she made an art installation outside. And they looked in this class at historical art images. So they looked at Andy Goldsworthy and some other artists who do outdoor and indoor installation. Next slide, please. And here's a student's work. And one of the things they had to do was they had to pick the best image because it was photography. So I had them show a screenshot of their phone, and you could see that on the left. Next slide, please. The next challenge was, how do you teach figure drawing? Okay, so when we teach figure drawing, we have a model in the studio and we understand the figure in space. And so I spent a lot of time trying to figure that out. So we actually drew from dance videos and photographs and film. Both of these Alvin Ailey dancers on the left, and I think the dancer on the right is from the Joffrey. So students draw from photographs. Next slide, please. Here's some student work. They did gesture drawings where they watched a film, froze the film, and then drew from the film for a minute, and then started the film again, did it similar to what we would do with a live model, but you can see the fantastic work that students did in class. Next slide, please. We also had them draw the people that they lived with. Because we didn't have access to models. So you can see here someone drew their sister on the phone. And it's actually pretty easy to get a family member to model because most people were on the computer or on the phone. So they just didn't move for an hour anyway. So what we really did, and what I'm really proud of our students, is how well they adapted to learning online for an art class that's usually in class. I told them all at the end of the semester that they had resilience, and that that artists have made art in all times of trouble. During the Holocaust, during the plague of Palermo, the Met has a wonderful painting of the plague of Palermo where Saint Rosalind came and saved the city of Palermo. So show them examples how artists have always made art. And I think that the work from the students really represented that. So I'm very proud to say I'm starting my probably 33rd year at Middlesex. It's a fabulous career. It's a fabulous place to be. And I'm very proud to be here and proud to work with our terrific students. And I want to thank you for asking me to share their work with you. I really appreciate it. And I'm very proud of them and the college. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. And for those of you who've been here in the executive suite back when we used to be in person, Annie Hogan, with all the faculty like Susan in her department, provided a great exhibit of student work from the last couple of years. So we love seeing student art. Susan, we loved your sharing it today.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for supporting the artists by putting them in the office. They're thrilled to be there.
I love seeing it every day when I come to work. It's wonderful.
Okay.
So
and I also want to just congratulate my two colleagues, Tom and Lakshmi. Yes, I was going to say, I see Tom right on my screen in front of me, but also for their promotion. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to you as well.
So next is Tom Helisinski in the Natural Sciences Department. Tom's a great chemistry professor. And if you were at convocation, one of the slides was of Tom making a video that was ready for class this fall in remote teaching. And so Tom, you're up. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation. Those were really nice drawings. I could show you A+ chemistry final exams, but I don't think that would have the same effect as those nice drawings. As Mark mentioned, my name's Tom Helisinski. I've been teaching chemistry in the Department of Natural Sciences for about 14 years now. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for all of your support through this pandemic. It was a bit daunting for me in the spring, not knowing what to expect as we went to remote live classes. But two things made it okay for me. One is the students. They came through big time. In my in-person classes, I rely on this back and forth exchange, back and forth discussion to help them learn through the material. I didn't know how that would translate in an online environment. But I could still feel through the computer screen their passion for learning science. Nothing stopped them. They are truly on their way to becoming lifelong learners. The second thing that made it okay for me was you, everyone at this meeting. Back in the spring, when I was trying to quickly learn how to computer code in algorithms to build online chemistry exams, feeling the same pressure as I was back in grad school, I remember thinking it could be worse. I could have the difficult task of being a chair or a dean or a vice president or a president or a board member. Thank you so much for all your hard work. Thank you for your support before the spring. Thank you for your support and leadership during this pandemic. I know I appreciate you, and I know the students appreciate you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being so dedicated. We appreciate you.
It's a truly great place to work here. Thank you.
And we have a third today, but Lakshmi Nagarajan Iyer, who teaches in business, actually has a class right now, a remote live synchronous class, so she couldn't be here, but she sent some prepared remarks that Vice President Linda Scher is going to read now on her behalf. Is Linda there?
Yes, thank you. So these are Dr. Nagarajan Iyer's remarks. I started at MCC in 2004 as an adjunct, and like many adjuncts, I taught at MCC, DeVry, Bloomfield College, besides running my own business. What attracted me to MCC was not just its proximity to home and a beautiful campus, but its people, faculty, staff, administrators, past and present. I had wonderful mentors like Arthur Peterson, Xenia Balobkins, Nancy Bailey, and the opportunity to work with Marilyn Laskowski-Sacknoff, Jeff Herron, Mark, and Linda, and have come to appreciate their dedication to our students. My enthusiasm to teach at MCC comes from being in an inclusive environment, which I like to extend to my students, and the students themselves. MCC, true to its mission, promotes lifelong learning to a diverse student population, but also practices hiring and promoting diverse staff and faculty, and supports faculty learning and teaching through CELT. What I admire most about our students is their ability to juggle home, work, and school, and their hard work and motivation to reach their goal. I have had the opportunity to see students grow and develop as critical thinkers and independent learners from their first class with me in an introductory course to higher level courses during their final semester at MCC. One particular student who comes to mind is David B. He was in my Business 101 Introduction to Business and earned a C. By the time I had him in my microeconomics, macroeconomics, and marketing, he had developed such excellent time management and study skills that he earned A and A- in these courses. I knew he was ready for four-year university and could accomplish anything he set his mind to. I played a very small role in his development, but it is students like him who make me love my job. Thank you.
So Chairman Power and all the trustees, I want you to know that we have amazing, amazing faculty. We'll talk about that more today later on, but I love when we get a chance to hear directly from faculty. So I thank again Susan and Tom for being here in person and taking time to share your passion for teaching and what you love about our students, and for Lakshmi for sending those remarks in advance. But we'll keep doing this. I think it's an important conversation to have between our faculty who are doing the great work in the front lines and you, the trustees, who are supporting all that we do here at the college.
Thank you. Also, I was remiss. Invited today were members of the Board of Chosen Freeholders. Freeholder Director Ron Rios, I'm not sure if he was able to come. Deputy Director Ken Armwood and County Administrator John Pulamina is here. And Khalid Anjum. So can you tell me who is here?
I know John is here.
Dottie, I'm here, Dottie. John
John.
Pullman is here.
John is here. And anyone else?
I don't believe so at this time. I know
Okay.
that Joe was a little crazy this morning, so.
Okay, yes. We had a little conflict today too, yes. Okay, so that concludes the presentations, Dr. McCormick.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So now we will go into committee reports. Academic and Student Affairs, Mr. Raja.
Good morning, everybody. Dr. Linda Scher, could you?
Yes, good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have a resolution to approve a revised academic calendar for the academic year 2020 to 2021. The revision is to lengthen our winter session. Given the pandemic and the fact that our winter session classes will not be on campus, they're all going to be online or remote live. We wanted to give the opportunity for the students to have extra time on task. And so we are voting, so the resolution is to lengthen the winter session by 2 weeks so that it will be 5 weeks in length instead of 3 weeks in length.
You need a motion?
So move.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Very good idea. Very good.
Motion is carried. Finance, Mr. Finkelstein.
Thank you, Chairman Power. Mr. Maltino will be providing the report, please.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Finkelstein, and thank you, Board of Trustees, for allowing me to speak to you today and appear before you today also. On September 10th, 2020, the Finance Committee of the college met at 8:30 to discuss various issues of consisting of resolutions for contracting, vendor payments, planning, and other financial matters at the college. They are contained in the documents before you in the form of 11 resolutions. We are requesting the board's approval on all 11 resolutions. In summary, resolutions 1 through 7 consist of purchases and contracting under the cooperative agreements, exempt purchases, and fair and open bid processes for various goods and services ranging from computer hardware and software to printing and engineering services for fiscal 2021. Resolutions 8 through 11 consist of contract amendments for previously approved contracts, also the disposition of tangible personal property no longer useful at the college, and payment authorization to various contractors. We seek your approval on all 11 resolutions. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolutions 1 through 11.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Sally, could you, I'd like to abstain on, I believe it's item number 4, although not required to do so. I just would feel more comfortable abstaining. And I do want to compliment the administration on updating their, procedures in terms of how it is that we are now going out more thoroughly procuring and widening opportunities, I think, for outside folks to have the ability to participate, submit bids, proposals. I think it strengthens this board and it gives us, more of an opportunity to review professionals. So to Frank and Dr. McCormick and others involved in that process, Joe as well, I compliment you. I think that it was a pretty, thorough process this year. So kudos to all of you.
Great.
Great, I agree. Thank you. Okay, Human Resources, Mr. Oras.
Good morning. Mr. Morgan has a report for us this morning. Joe?
Thank you. So we have 27 recommended items that were reviewed last week in the Human Resources Committee in the areas of hires, change of status, separations, and miscellaneous personnel transactions. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about those recommendations.
Having no questions, I recommend approval of all resolutions in the categories of hires, change of status, and separations.
I second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Abstentions? Okay, the motion is carried. General, oh, that's for me. This is a resolution honoring Judge Roger Daley. Whereas Judge Roger Daley was appointed by the Governor of the State of New Jersey and served with distinction as a member of the Middlesex County College Board of Trustees from January 10th, 2018 to August 19th, 2020. Whereas during his tenure at the college, Judge Daly was a member of the Human Resources and Bylaws Committees, and Judge Daly generously volunteered his professional knowledge and insight to the college, enhancing the quality of educational service provided by the institution to the residents of Middlesex County, and therefore be it resolved that the members of the Board of Trustees of Middlesex County College do hereby recognize and acknowledge their sincere appreciation and gratitude to Judge Daly for his outstanding contributions, the interest he has shown, and the assistance he has given to the campus community and residents of Middlesex County. Be it further resolved that the members of the Board of Trustees with Judge Daly wish Judge Daly good health and continued success in all of his endeavors. If I may, I move the resolution.
Second.
Second.
And they're moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Motion carried. Resolution is revolution is carried. Okay, so now we go to general. There's another general resolution. Mr. Finkelstein.
Thank you, Chairman Power. This is a motion to approve resolution number 2 under general. It was a very difficult resolution to deliberate on before recommending. This is the resolution regarding the president's expenditures. The board should know that the president had 0 expenditures this quarter. So kudos to Dr. McCormick. So move the resolution.
Second.
I'll second.
Second it. All in favor? We're all in favor of that one.
Aye.
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 Resolution carried. Thank you. Okay, another general marketing and public relations chair, Chrissy.
Thank you, Chairman Power. The Marketing and Public Relations Committee met, and so we are seeking approval of Resolution 3 under general.
Oh, second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried. Thank you. Now, okay, Bylaws Committee, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you, Chairman. The Bylaws Committee is suggesting 2 bylaw modifications. The first proposed bylaw modification relates to the Executive Committee. The board recently approved an Executive Committee and gave committee power to act between meetings. There was, however, no provision as to the public notice, which should be given prior to an Executive Committee meeting. The provision states that the notice shall be the same notice that is required for special meetings of the board. And there's a second proposed bylaw modification that relates to the public participation at the Board of Trustee meeting. The existing bylaw is very general, and the new bylaw clarifies the public participation procedure. The new bylaw sets forth a procedure which provides that people requesting to be heard at the board meeting must register with the secretary of the board at least 24 hours before the meeting. This will give the administration opportunity to be able to answer any questions the public may have. In addition, it sets forth the procedure to be used at board meetings when a member of the public either asks a question or make a comment. So for example, time limitation of 3 minutes and orderly participation of members of the public. It also sets forth the powers of the board chairman to orderly control a meeting. For example, terminate a participant statement when it's either too long, abusive, or obscene. The procedure suggested is similar to procedures used by other colleges, K-12 school districts, and government agencies. We'll be looking to make a motion on that at the next meeting.
Well, this is to approve the introduction of the bylaws, Kyle. So you have a motion to approve the introduction, and then they'll be acted at the next meeting.
Okay.
So you need a resolution to introduce it. Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Liz, comments? Okay, thank you. Okay, report of council?
No report, Madam Chairperson.
Report, okay. President's report.
Chairman Power, so I have a.
President McCormick, if I could, I don't know if you're going to talk about Resolution 3 in general, but I would like to comment on it if appropriate.
Certainly.
Perfect. So my apologies for not expanding on that a little bit further, Chairwoman and Dr. McCormick, but Resolution 3, I know everyone is very well aware that the marketing team and the college have been working with Top Right, who's been a phenomenal resource to the college in terms of, getting our marketing out there for not only the county, but linking that with the county college as well, and a way to basically brand all the wonderful work that our team is doing across the college and all the great experiences our students have had. One of the recommendations coming out of Top Right is to change the name of the county college to remove the word county. And so that's what Resolution 3 did. And so we look forward to working with Top Right moving forward on a whole new branding campaign that'll take effect during the new year. And just want to thank everybody for all their hard work on this. And it's been really exciting to watch all the great suggestions and the work that they've already been doing on social media and other avenues to get the word out about the college. So thank you to the county, thank you to Top Right, and for everyone who's been putting in a lot of time to make sure that our branding gets the word out about all the great things that are happening. Thank you, Chairwoman.
Thank you, Kirsty. Okay, now we go to old business.
We did, Chairman Power, we didn't do the report yet. Sorry. You got.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. So first of all, congratulations to you, Chairman Power, on being the recipient of the 2020 PhD Lamadou Award. Well-deserved. And those who've viewed the recording of convocation know the great remarks you gave about how you got from there to here, and heard the great remarks from Field Director Rios about why it was so well-deserved. And we also heard from Paige Lamadou's son and his wife, why they also think it's well-deserved. So again, congratulations on a reward that was well-deserved. Number two, I want to welcome again our new trustees that you swore in, Chairman Power. Gabrielle Mclean is a 2020 graduate. We're very proud of her. You saw some of her artwork that Professor Susan Altman shared. And Andy Peluri, I got to know a little bit through the new trustee orientation last week. I think you're going to be a great addition to our board. And I look forward to working with both of you and all the trustees to continue to advance the mission of the college. And thanks, as Christy Buda said, to the county for the amazing ongoing support we get year to year in terms of appropriations, but also this past year, the additional support through Top Right in helping us develop our own new marketing plan and branding strategy. And you guys went above and beyond in giving us the access to Top Right this summer to produce that wonderful Accelerate Your Education ad campaign targeted at parents of students who are thinking of sending their child to a four-year college university this fall. We're getting some students out of that already. And I know there's more to come, and we appreciate the ongoing support you have. And I think we're going to hear later from John Palomino on behalf of the county more about that. So in reporting to you, next slide, I mainly want to raise up the amazing work that our staff, faculty and staff, did all spring and all summer to get ready for this moment. When we were thrust into the remote operations back in mid-March, we, like many places, scrambled to do what we could to make sure we did the best we could. But as you heard from Susan Altman and Tom, we had to think about it more this summer to do it even better. And so certainly for those staff like me, I had to learn to use Zoom. I had to learn to use other tools. I had to learn to work in isolation, staring at a screen all day in my home. But I think the faculty in particular, teaching faculty, 10-month faculty, had to do so much more. And I give one example. Parag Mooley, who's a professor in natural sciences, had a course developed a couple of years ago on environmental science. And the old version of the course was heavily hands-on, in-person, things you really couldn't do remotely. He still wanted to offer that course. So he told me this summer, he spent countless hours rethinking the course from scratch to develop new learning activities that could be delivered online or done at home, as you saw with Susan, with the art courses in a different way, but that would still achieve the same student learning outcomes. It took a lot of extra effort. So I really want to raise up all of our faculty and staff for all the incredible work we've done all through this pandemic, but especially in thinking more about how to continue to deliver high-quality educational programs and services in a way that's still meaningful and has value during a pandemic. It's been amazing. So we also did new ways of recruiting students. Next slide. Our team in the Division of Student Enrollment Services, led by Jose Laureano, had to rethink how we recruit. And so, led by the admissions and recruitment team, we've done a lot of things virtually, including open houses and special sessions on financial aid. And so we did a lot this summer to try to keep reaching out to new students. Next slide. We also worked on getting ready for the fall semester. Next slide. So thanks again to our facilities management team to get ready for this moment. We had a return to campus task force led by Don Drost, in which many people from all over the college, including the union leadership, talked about what kinds of guidance we had from the federal government, the state government, and local government, and how we can make sure that we're going to be operating in person to the limited extent that we are in a safe way. And so you see here examples putting up plexiglass and covering every other sink in the bathroom to make sure that we're going to be safe. Next slide. More examples of the great work in terms of signage around campus to make sure we're all wearing masks and practicing social distancing. Next slide. And then, of course, the faculty. I gave examples of convocation again of the chemistry folks. Here we have Michaela Girish and Brian Levy. Next slide. Also Falguni Ghosh, and you heard earlier from Tom Halasinski, who came in during the summer and videotaped lab demonstrations so they could then talk about them with a video during courses this fall that are delivered completely remotely or online. Next slide. And then just supporting our students in general. We know that our students were always at need, and we created last year an Office of Basic Student Needs with a new coordinator, Amanda Lyons. But during the pandemic, many students lost their job, needed food, needed support, and so we had to step up our game. And to do that, we had to reach out to students directly. Next slide. So led primarily by the Office of Student Life team, we've been delivering or distributing Chromebooks. So thanks to the IT staff and to the police for helping with that. Here's Director of Student Life, O'Day Hoppy, masked and giving a Chromebook and its equipment to a student at a drive-through operation. Next slide. And early on, we gave out all the food we had in the pantry, 2 bags per family. There's Amanda Lyons giving food through the door of a car to students who needed that food. She also delivered some to their homes if they couldn't get here. And then we switched now to grocery gift cards. We've given out over $12,000 in grocery gift cards. We've also raised, through contributions from many employees and alumni, to our MCC Foundation student needs budget. And so there's a special discretionary fund for extraordinary needs. They can apply for a one-time grant for money they need to keep living and operating. Next slide. So if you're at convocation or you watch the video, I talked a lot about, next slide, thinking big, thinking ahead, and being bold. You've heard many examples today of ways we're doing that. But again, I want to call up one in particular you just heard about today. Chrissy Butis, as chair of the Marketing and PR Committee of the board, reviewed the information that came from Top Right and the Marketing Working Group about the recommendation that we change our name. And that was Resolution 3 that Chrissy Butis moved and the board unanimously approved. Beginning January 1st, we will become Middlesex College. We're still immensely proud to be the college that serves Middlesex County, and we're an integral foundational part of the county services to the residents and businesses. But I think changing our name will position us better to be a leader in this area and to reach out to students who may have had some sense of stigma about the word community being part of the name of our college. About 20% of colleges nationwide have moved away from using words like community or county or technical in their name. We already have one here in the state before us. Former Gloucester County College became Rowan College of South Jersey. I do think it's going to give us a good positioning as we move forward with the remainder of the work to be done by the Marketing Working Group with help from Top Right to develop a new marketing plan that will help us be bold in telling our story as Middlesex College. And Chairman Power, that's the report.
Thank you, Dr. McCormick. At this point, I would just like to say a few words. There are boards and there are trustees. And then there are our trustees. I firmly believe that we are family. And that even includes the students. We are a family. And I am so fortunate to share the works of the board with you to ensure that every student who passes through is on their journey to success. And the Lamadou Award was a special day for me, as you know, and for you and others to share it with me meant a lot. And I thank you for that.
Thank you.
So now, would any members of the board like to say something or anything? Okay, everybody.
Madam Chair,
Of course.
did I hear Bob first? I didn't want to, okay. If not, I just, a couple of quick items. One, I certainly want to welcome our two new trustees, Mr. Peluri and Ms. McLean. I think if I pronounced that correctly, looking forward to obviously working with you guys. I do want to say that because we didn't get a chance to really say goodbye in person to our former trustee, but I do believe that, you know, he certainly gave, we know he's agree on every issue, but he certainly cared a lot about this county college and had a strong passion. And I certainly respect that. And I think that there was value to the board in that regard. And so, you know, sometimes when folks' tenures end, you don't get to say it in person because by the time the new folks are appointed, we only get to say goodbye, and now we're doing it remotely. But having said that, I really did appreciate the judges' overall perspective. I also want to say that I'm excited about the concept of a name change, something that I know that to the extent that we need to potentially look at things more broadly and differently, especially during this pandemic and different times of how do we attract and retain and continue to reinvent ourselves. Again, I think that there are good ideas, not every idea is going to move to the finish line, but I think that the notion that we would consider ways in which we can better recruit and retain and attract and grow our county college and the strength and passion we all have for that, I think is important. I also want to publicly compliment the county. Dr. McCormick, you recognized, and Chrissy also recognized Top Right. I think that was a great campaign and a good effort, and shows the stronger partnership that now exists between the county and the county college, something that we've all wanted. So for all of those things, I think given the pandemic and everything going on in this world, I think we've done all we can to try and maintain a sense of normalcy, success, give folks optimism and opportunity. And as a parent of a college age student, I can honestly say that I really value that. And even in my own case, in our own family, seriously consider that the options that a county and a community college offers in a way that I don't know if I previously would have examined. So as much as there is, these are tough times in the world, and enrollments are down and finances are hurting a little bit, I think that this board, while not everything is perfect, I think there are a lot of positives and things that we can look forward as to what we've done and what we will continue to do. And look, we're going to have issues that are going to be difficult to tackle as we move forward, no doubt, given resources and other things that are happening in this world. But to your point, Madam Chair, I think the folks on this board, we're doing all we can to try and move forward in positive steps. So kudos to all of you. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Madam Chair, this is Andy Pelori. Just want to say a couple of words, wouldn't take too much of your time. First of all, I'm extremely excited to be a part of this team. Like you said, this appears to be like a family, and I did look at the bios of most of you and extremely impressed with it, and can't wait to start working with each and every one of you. I know that there's not a whole lot of representation from the southern part of Middlesex County, and I would love to play the role of a liaison between the Monroe, South Brunswick area, and get started with changing the college name itself. It shows that we're on a constant mode of changes, which we need to do to survive in this competitive world. That's excellent. Chrissy, congratulations on leading that for us. I'm really excited. I look forward to it, and I want to thank Dr. McCormick for a wonderful orientation. I wish I had such an orientation when I became a board member at the Monroe Township Board of Education. It's something that we're going to learn, and hopefully, we'll bring it back to our board as well. Thank you very much, and glad to be a part of it.
We're happy to have you aboard. Okay, I understand that Mr. John Polomina is here. John?
Thank you, Dottie.
Thank you. Good.
It's always good to be back since my roots as a former freeholder and also as the board member who sat with the board on many occasions. Also a byproduct of Staten Island Community College, which is now the College of Staten Island, a four-year school. So I take great pride in being part of this family. And I know I speak on behalf of the Board of Freeholders and Freehold Director Rios. The commitment that the county has to education is second to none. The alignment of what we do, how we do it on behalf of the residents is absolutely critical. And I believe that the campaign that we're moving forward on, the branding of not only college of the county, demonstrates our ruthless commitment to serving our community. And the alignment of what we do is so critical. When you think about education, as the county embarks upon its economic development in 2021, which is absolutely essential, a key element of attracting businesses, new businesses to Middlesex County is the skill set and the education and the workforce that we can provide to those businesses. The county recognizes that. I know the president of the college and the board recognizing that. By aligning our strategy with ruthless consistency, I believe guarantees the fact that we will attract the kind of businesses that will help the economic growth of Middlesex County, will enhance the quality of life of people who live here, work here, play here. And so everything that we do is to align the entire enterprise of Middlesex County, from the county itself to the county college, the vocational school, the improvement authority, the utility authority. We are one family serving one customer, and that's the residents of Middlesex County. So I think what you're seeing here is the Board of Freeholders' commitment to ensuring that the kinds of investments that are critical by the college to make will be made. And that whether it's in supporting the educational process, and again, another example, the county established the Arts Institute of Middlesex County because they recognize arts as a key element, not as only as an economic driver, but it's a quality of life. And so we have to make sure when it comes to the arts education, the outreach we do at the local level, we tie it to what the college is doing. Again, that alignment is so critical. So whether it's education, whether it's the arts, whether it's technology, whether it's the overall branding, we are one family working towards that goal. And we are committed to supporting the college in that capacity. When you think about what we've been through over the last 6 months, we have adapted, we have succeeded, and then some things we actually, we didn't, we fell on our faces, but we learned from that collectively. And you'll see the next campaign that the county is moving on is about leading together. And that's not just leading with the college or the county itself, but with people throughout our community. That leadership is critical for our future success. So, and I believe as we move to 2020, the future is bright because we are collectively committed to our community. So on behalf of the Board of Freeholders, I'm very happy to be here to speak on their behalf. And I know together we will be successful in making Middlesex County the greatest place to live. So thank you very much.
Thank you, John. We've always had this partnership, and now it's even more solidified. And now with the new Cancer Institute, we're going to be even closely tied together. And we thank you for all your participation and your as I said, all the things that we do together in partnership, and that will continue. Thank you so much.
We appreciate that. You had an excellent point. Let me just add to that. The relationship not only with the college and the county, but the college with the other educational institutions like Rutgers, like other businesses like RWJ. That alignment is critical because we then build that workforce for the future together. So that public-private educational collaboration is absolutely essential.
We can thank Dr. McCormick for doing a lot of that alignment with all the other entities. Thank you so much.
He's been a great partner, so I look forward to continue working with Mark.
Thank you, John. Okay, so it is now time for the public comment. Pursuant to Section 7.4 of the board bylaws, and in the interest of conducting an orderly meeting and allowing anyone who wishes an opportunity to speak, I am establishing the following protocols for public comment. Use the raise your hand feature on Zoom to indicate you would like to speak. A college IT staff member will announce your name or telephone number and unmute you. Please state your name and affiliation with the college, if any. You will have 3 minutes to speak. A college IT staff member will announce when 30 seconds of your time is remaining, and again when your 3 minutes are up. You will be muted at the end of your comments or after 3 minutes. I will now call on Rich to give me any names that have signed up.
Chairman Power, Pat Payne would like to speak.
Okay. Pat?
No, I'm good. I didn't raise my hand.
Okay.
Hi, Pat.
Pat is not going to speak?
No.
Just the fact that you are here with us, Pat. Thank you. Okay.
Are there other speakers lined up, Rich?
I'm looking. I do not see any hands raised.
Double check before we
Yes.
close up public.
There is one on 993, it looks like.
9697.
Okay. Let's unmute that person then, please, Rich.
See the person.
They're checking, John. Hang on.
There we go. I see it. It's at the top. That's why.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Charlie Cradaville. I live in New Brunswick, and I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today, a community newspaper. First of all, I want to just say, sincerely thank you to all the staff and faculty who have been soldiering on in this difficult time and continuing the operations of the county college. And I do want to, for the record, state that I'm against the changes to your bylaws that would make it harder for people to speak at these meetings. I think it's apparent that you only have one person today that wanted to speak. If there had been a requirement that I had to sign up 24 hours in advance, I would not be speaking to you right now. And I think that if the board wants to welcome community input and public comments, putting an onerous restriction that would require advanced registration would not be in that spirit and would not be helpful in getting you to have more voices come to these meetings and more input and ultimately more debate and discussion about the important work that you're doing. The reason that I called today is I'm very concerned about a legal matter, a lawsuit that has been filed by a woman named Maureen Lawrence. She, I guess, was a vice president here, and she was in charge of ensuring compliance with local, state, and federal regulations. And in the course of her duties, she says in her lawsuit that 2 individuals on this board had serious conflicts of interest in violation of state law, and also disturbing that she alleges you, Madam Chairwoman, retaliated against her, and that you, were not happy that she raised these concerns, and you asked her who put you up to this, and well, I'll take care of you, is what you're alleged to have said. And also Mr. Polomina is alleged to have spoken to the President McCormick and said that she needs to, or she should learn to keep her mouth shut and just sit quietly and not ask questions, and that ultimately she needed to be fired, and that she was ultimately forced out. And I'm very concerned about the content of this lawsuit. I know that, I'm not sure. I know there's new members, so I wanted to make sure everybody on the board knows about this and that you ask questions about it in closed session. And I would like to hear from your attorney about the status of the case. Is it true that it's been moved back to Middlesex County? And please, Madam Chair and
30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to hear from the 2 members who are accused of having conflicts of interest. Can you tell me what you've done to correct the conflicts of interest and address the allegations that have been made in this very disturbing lawsuit?
You want me to take that, Mark? Number one, the lawsuit's been settled, so the lawsuit is over. Number two, the allegations were not factual and were incorrect.
Are there other speakers who want to speak today? Chairman Power, no other hands are raised at this time.
Okay, then we have no further business. As we have no further business to conduct this morning, the board adjourns until our next regularly scheduled meeting, which will take place on Wednesday, October 21st, 2020 at 8:30 a.m. at a location or means of virtual access to be determined and advertised. Thank you very much. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Madam Chairman.
In second, and all in favor? Thank you very much for this meeting. It was a very, very informative meeting, and thank John Palomita for joining us and for everyone else who has joined us and the board. And thank you, board. We have a great board now, a full board. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Stand adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Every